Last year about this time, I made a video, two videos, of a Thunder fan reacting to Paul George trade and the Russell Westbrook trade. I don't make many basketball videos on this channel. This is a football channel, but I plan to bring basketball videos in the future. I actually have one recording and I'm editing right now. If you guys are watching this, if you guys want to watch the next basketball video, it's a Philadelphia 76ers one. But yesterday, I was watching the game, watching the tail end of the Bucks Heat game, and I check my Twitter feed, and I see that Billy Donovan and the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be parting ways. Now, just like last year with the Paul George trade, I was shocked at first, was angry, and then now I'm making this the next day. I have time to really think it in. I do that with my football videos. I never make a video based off emotion. I wait a day or two and then make a video making a logical reasoning. Sometimes it still doesn't make any sense, but it's like you never want to make a video like that because what you say is probably stupid. Just like in like real life, that's not sports. You shouldn't say something in the heat of the moment. But anyway, I was angry. I was like, you know what? Billy Donovan just got snubbed for Coach of the Year. I think he should have got it. And really was a solid coach for the past 5 years. Took over after Scott Brooks and then took the team to the Western Conference Finals, and KD choked a 3-1 lead. And then we went through 3 eras, in 5 years. He went from the KD Westbrook era to the Westbrook himself and Oladipo. Then the Westbrook, actually, I'll say 3, but you can even say 4. Because you had the Russell Westbrook KD, like I said, Westbrook Oladipo, Westbrook George, and then you have this rebuild type scenario. And I made a video last year saying that the Thunder are still going to make the playoffs because we built a team that has Chris Paul, that had some deep young guys, or like some depth that included young guys, I should say. We added Danilo Gallinari. Steven Adams is still going to be there. And if Shea progressed the way he did this year, that was like if he would have progressed, that was a prediction. If he would have progressed well, we would make the playoffs. And sure enough, Chris Paul had a really good season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a great breakout year. Danilo Gallinari had another fantastic year. And that carried us into momentum after a really bad start. And I think that Billy Donovan deserves a lot of credit for that. And obviously the addition of Dennis Schroeder last year, getting him for pretty much nothing. Carmelo Anthony, and the Hawks ended up dropping Carmelo Anthony, so we got Dennis Schroeder for free. Pretty much. But then I think, maybe this is good. He hasn't won a playoff series in a while. Obviously against the Jazz last year, or the year before that, and then the Blazers last year on Paul George's bad shot where Paul, I say it was good defense, it was a bad shot, but at the end of the day, Paul George kind of sucks this year. One of the most overrated players this year, in my opinion. And I was the biggest Paul George fan last year. I wanted him to win MVP. I wanted him to win Defensive Player of the Year. But I guess this season proves why he shouldn't have got it. But I thought that those 2 playoff losses in a row weren't Billy Donovan's fault at all. Because you look at the one in 2018 against the Jazz. Melo really, really sucked. There is no other way to put it. Melo was bad. And Paul George was also bad. It was his first year back, and Russell Westbrook also was coming off that shoulder surgery. I shouldn't say Paul George's first year back. It was his first year on the team. So then last year against Portland, we have an amped up squad. Paul George had an MVP season, but he hurt himself. And he really didn't play all that well. So it's unfortunate. With this parting ways, with Billy Donovan not re-signing with the team, this pretty much confirms that Chris Paul is going to be traded, which means a rebuild is going to be started, which means we're probably not going to bring back Danilo Gallinari. We're probably going to trade Steven Adams. We're probably going to trade Dennis Schroeder. And we're going to have a complete rebuild. Now, last year I said that we would make the playoffs after 2 trades because we brought in Gallinari, we brought in Chris Paul. But if we're trading Chris Paul, we're probably going to get a bunch of young assets and picks, so we're not going to get any players that are going to help us win. And if we trade Steven Adams, same goes. Same with Dennis Schroeder. We're going to get like picks and assets, which I can only imagine how many picks we're going to have for the next 6 years if we get picks for Schroeder, Steven Adams, and Paul. So then we'll have a squad, pretty much a bunch of young guys, and you could call this a tank season and a time period for not Dennis Schroeder, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to really show himself, and Darius Bazley to really show himself, and Terrence Ferguson to finally a year to be a starter and get 30 minutes a game. I think this season is going to be exciting to watch, even if we only win 20 games next year, this upcoming season. I think it'd be really exciting to watch because we could finally see the full potential of Shai. We could finally see, Terrence Ferguson maybe become that three-point shooter. Lou Dort be a full-on defensive guard, and Darius Bazley be a starter. Those type of things are the things you get excited for. Also, probably going to lose Nerlens Noel. So I think that this parting ways officially starts the rebuild. A lot of people thought it was last year, but we kept Paul, we kept Adams, we kept Gallinari, and we had a really good year. We were the 4 seed for the longest time. We were trying to fight for that 3rd seed. And then in the bubble, we fell to the 5 seed. But, this season was one of my favorite seasons to watch as a Thunder fan. I have been a Thunder fan before they were even the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I was a Supersonics fan. And when they switched, I was still very, very young. But my family was into basketball. They were a Sonics fan. So I was 5 years old. And they switched. I grew up watching Oklahoma basketball. But it's not like I just became it when Kevin Durant was there. Well, Kevin Durant was there when I started watching, but you guys get my point if you're watching this from the video. But I don't, 2016 was very fun to watch. 2018 and 17 through 18, Russell Westbrook's Revenge MVP campaign. And then this year was very, very exciting to watch. Especially in the fourth quarter. We just won every game in the fourth quarter. It was insane. And people are going to say, well, everybody wins a game in the fourth quarter. But, we came back, those close games. If it was a close... But like I was saying, if it was a close game in the fourth quarter, we were going to win that game. Let's say we're down by 5 and there's only 3 minutes left. We're going to come back and win that game. It was so interesting to watch a team be successful in the fourth quarter instead of choking like the Rockets do in Game 7s, like the Rockets did last night against the Lakers. I always find that cool when teams find a way to win games late in the fourth quarter, and that's what the Thunder did every single night. So that's why it was a very fun season for you to watch as a Thunder fan. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, like it. If not, comment. But thanks for watching.